Horoscope analysis, the Kendra and Kona aspects with conjunctions, Cancer rising. 1. Moon in the first house, Cancer conjunct Jupiter, forms a powerful Gaja Kesari Yoga in a Kendra. Moon is the Lagna Lord and Jupiter is the 6th and 9th Lord. Moon in own sign gives emotional depth, empathy, and nurturing strength, Rule 6. And Jupiter, being in a Kendra and ruling a Kona, 9th, enhances dharmic wisdom and protection. Their conjunction grants spiritual intelligence, maternal blessings, and a kind leadership quality. However, because Jupiter also rules the 6th, Adushtana, there may be occasional internal conflicts or moral dilemmas that the native overcomes with maturity. 2. Venus in the 4th house, Libra, its own sign, conjunct Mercury, brings Saraswati Yoga, like refinement, in a Kendra. Venus rules the 4th and 11th houses, making it a functional benefit for Cancer rising. Mercury rules the 3rd and 12th houses, so its results are mixed. Rule 6 confirms Venus in own sign gives excellent results in real estate, emotional harmony, and aesthetics. Mercury here adds intellectual creativity in domestic and educational matters. Their aspect to the 10th house can lead to careers in art, media, or teaching, but the 12th lordship of Mercury may also make the native periodically reclusive or withdrawn. 3. Sun in the 2nd house, Leo, own sign, conjunct Mars unites the 2nd and 5th lords in a Maraka Artha house. Sun in own sign gives strong voice, leadership in family matters, and financial potential, Rule 6. Mars, as 5th and 10th lord, is a Yoga Karaka and adds ambition, strategy, and willpower. Their conjunction blesses the native with persuasive authority and strong family legacy. However, being natural malefics, their aspect to the 8th house may bring upheaval in joint finances or in-laws unless pacified by benefic influence from Jupiter or Venus. Number 4. Saturn in the 7th house, Capricorn, own sign, conjunct Mercury, forms a serious and practical combination in a Kendra. Saturn, ruling 7th and 8th, is a functional malefic. Mercury rules the 3rd and 12th. Rule 6 gives Saturn strength in own sign, especially in the 7th house, where it brings long-term karmic partnerships. The conjunction indicates a partner who is communicative yet reserved, practical but spiritually oriented. Rule 7 reminds us that planets and kendras uplift their natural significations, but Mercury's association with the 12th house may create distance or idealism in relationships, unless supported by benefics like Moon or Jupiter. Number 5. Mars in the 5th house, Scorpio, its own sign, conjunct Venus combines passion and aesthetics in a Kona. Mars, as Yoga Karaka, gives deep creative focus and transformative intelligence, Rule 6, while Venus, ruling 4th and 11th, adds grace and social magnetism. This pairing enhances charisma, dramatic skill, and leadership in performance or speculative ventures. Their aspect on the 11th house supports gain through creative networks, but the native must manage emotional intensity in romantic life, as Venus and Mars can generate turbulent attraction or possessiveness. 6. Jupiter in the 9th house, Pisces, own sign, conjunct Mercury, blends higher learning with practical thought in a Kona. Jupiter, ruling 6th and 9th, is well placed in own sign per Rule 6, and Mercury brings sharp analytics and communication. Rule 7 enhances the results in Konas. This pairing fosters a philosophical mind, success in education, and diplomatic teaching ability. However, Jupiter's 6th house lordship may trigger internal health or service-based karma that the native must integrate over time, particularly in guiding or mentoring roles. Sun in the 10th house, Aries, exalted, conjunct Mercury, forms a highly potent Buddha Aditya Yoga in a Kendra and Upachaya. Sun rules the 2nd house and Mercury the 3rd and 12th. In exaltation, the Sun brings public honor and bold leadership, while Mercury sharpens communication and intellectual clarity. Rule 7 supports that planets in 10th give excellent results from the start and improve over time. This conjunction results in brilliance in administration, law, or entrepreneurship, but the 12th lordship of Mercury may introduce periods of career fatigue or spiritual reevaluation. 8. Saturn in the 8th house, Aquarius, conjunct Jupiter, mixes expansion and delay in a Dashdana. Saturn rules the 7th and 8th, while Jupiter rules the 6th and 9th. Though this is a challenging house, both are in friendly signs. And, as per Rule 7, if the planets occupy their own or friendly constellations, their significations are only slightly impaired. This conjunction gives profound spiritual growth, especially when the native faces crisis. Their aspect on the second house can stabilize wealth over time, though initial accumulation may be slow or karmically delayed. Summary for Cancer rising with conjunctions in Kendras and Konas. Kendras 1, 4, 7, 10. When occupied by own sign or exalted planets, conjunctions such as Moon Jupiter, Venus Mercury, or Sun Mercury create stable emotional, relational, and professional ground. Konas 5, 9. Benefics like Jupiter, Venus, and Mars in own signs bring spiritual merit, creative brilliance, and long-term fortune. Conjunctions here enhance Dharma-karma alignment. Rule 6. Strength comes when planets occupy their own houses, especially true for Moon, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars in this chart. Rule 7. Dushtana placements 6, 8, 12 become less problematic when planets are in their own signs or nakshatras. Upachayas 3, 6, 10, 11 mature with time and practice. Natural malefics, Mars, Saturn, Sun, do not bless houses they aspect, but when conjoined with benefics and strength, their energy can be productively directed. Cancer rising natives benefit most when Moon is fortified, and Venus, Jupiter, or Mercury grace the Kendras or Konas. Their intuitive, emotional core gains depth when supported by disciplined or spiritual planets. Conjunctions must be assessed carefully to balance emotional flow with karmic purpose. Horoscope analysis, the Kendra and Kona aspects with conjunctions, Scorpio rising. 1 Mars in the first house, Scorpio own sign, conjunct Mercury, merges raw drive with sharp intellect in a Kendra. Mars, as Lagna and sixth lord, is strong in own sign per Rule 6, conferring stamina, assertiveness, and healing potential. Mercury rules the 8th and 11th, functionally mixed, yet its conjunction with Mars sharpens debate, analysis, and strategic thinking. Rule 7 supports Kendra-based conjunctions for stabilizing impact. This pair brings success in crisis management, diagnostics, or tactical leadership. However, their aspect to the 7th house may create confrontational tones in partnerships unless Venus or Jupiter offers balance. 2. Sun, in the 10th house, Leo own sign, conjunct Moon, creates a high-powered blend of visibility and emotional intelligence in a Kendra and Upachaya. Sun rules the 10th. Moon rules the 9th. Rule 6 confirms both are strong in own signs and functional benefics for Scorpio rising. Their conjunction highlights karma-dharma alignment, parental legacies, authoritative reputation, and strong ethical standing. Per Rule 7, this grants lasting impact in public life or governance. Their aspect to the 4th may require emotional detachment from early family or emphasize ambition over personal comfort. Number 3. Jupiter in the 2nd house, Sagittarius, own sign, conjunct Venus links wealth and value systems in an Artha house. Jupiter rules the 2nd and 5th houses and is a major functional benefit for Scorpio. Venus rules the 7th and 12th, mixed in function but softens Jupiter's moral sharpness. Rule 6 favors Jupiter in own sign, granting deep ethics, spiritual speech, and financial luck. Rule 7 permits Venus to enhance relational grace, giving this pair the power to earn through knowledge, diplomacy, or creative counsel. Their aspect on the 8th transforms subconscious depth into usable intuition. 4. Saturn in the 4th house, Aquarius own sign, conjunct Moon binds emotional maturity with stoic domesticity in a Kendra. Saturn governs the 3rd and 4th, Moon the 9th. Per Rule 6, Saturn in own sign brings stability to home, land, and inner psychology. With Moon, it produces introverted yet disciplined emotional patterns. Their aspect on the 10th supports leadership rooted in values and patience, but early home life may feel emotionally cool. Rule 7 supports this combination if supported by benefics like Jupiter or Sun in 10th, evolving into ethical leadership or structured emotional healing careers. 5. Mars in the 5th house, Pisces, conjunct Jupiter, generates a strong karma-dharma yoga in a Kona. Mars rules 1st and 6th. Jupiter rules 2nd and 5th. Jupiter as 5th lord enhances dharmic intelligence, and Mars adds drive. Rule 6 affirms Jupiter's rulership over a Kona. Rule 7 supports this placement's spiritual creativity, intuitive reasoning, and leadership in speculative ventures. Together, they empower bold, compassionate thinking, but impulsiveness in romance or belief systems should be checked. Their aspect on the 11th house favors gain through Dharma-driven communities. 6. Venus in the 7th house, Taurus own sign, conjunct Mercury, brings sweetness, wit, and commercial acumen to partnerships in a Kendra. Venus owns the 7th and 12th, strong in own sign and gives refined relationship karma. Mercury owns 8th and 11th, though functionally complex, it refines business sense. Rule 6 supports Venus's placement for marriage and diplomacy. Rule 7 affirms the growth potential in Kendra partnerships. This pair supports legal, counseling, or luxury-oriented vocations. Their aspect on Lagna lends grace to personality, but must avoid over-reliance on charm alone. 7. Sun in the 9th house, Cancer, conjunct Saturn, joins authority and duty in a Kona. Sun rules the 10th, Saturn the 3rd and 4th. Though Saturn is in an enemy sign, Rule 7 favors placements in Konas. This conjunction creates a dutiful philosophical framework and a grounded belief system, often influenced by strong parental figures. Their aspect to the 3rd refines writing, resilience, and grit. However, ideological rigidity or slow academic progress may occur unless balanced by Jupiter from the 5th or Mercury in the 11th. 8. Moon in the 11th house, Virgo. Conjunct Mercury, stars, activates emotional intelligence and pragmatic communication in an upachaya. Moon rules the 9th, Mercury the 8th and 11th. Rule 6 is partially fulfilled. Mercury in own sign here helps speech and network management, and Moon lends idealism. Per Rule 7, the 11th house grows with time. This pair brings financial intuition, mature friendships, and subtle influence. Their aspect on the 5th house enhances intellectual creativity, though excessive worry or anxiety over results may exist. Summary for Scorpio rising with conjunctions in Kendras and Konas. Mars and Jupiter are key. Mars governs life force and strategy. Jupiter rules speech and learning. Their Kona conjunctions offer Dharma-based action and mental brilliance. Rule 6. Conjunctions where one or both planets are in their own or exalted sign, e.g. Mars in Scorpio, Jupiter in Sagittarius, Sun in Leo, Venus in Taurus, bring empowered outcomes. Rule 7. Upachaya and Kona placements mature over time, especially Venus-Mercury in 11th or Jupiter-Mars in 5th. Kendra conjunctions stabilize the native sense of identity, home, partnerships, and career. Natural malefics like Mars or Saturn still do not uplift houses they aspect, but can strengthen the house they occupy, especially if in own or exalted signs. Scorpio risings grow when intensity is channeled through dharmic intellect, structured emotional control, and devotion to transformative causes. Their chart thrives when Mars, Jupiter, and Venus act as stabilizers or teachers in conjunction with Mercury or Moon. Horoscope analysis, the Kendra and Kona aspects with conjunctions, Pisces rising. 1. Jupiter in the 1st house, Pisces, own sign, conjunct Venus, creates a deeply gracious and dharmic personality in a Kendra. Jupiter, the Lagna and 10th lord, is the strongest benefic for Pisces, and in Mulatrikona gives moral anchoring and vision. Venus rules the 3rd and 8th, functionally challenging, but when conjoined with Jupiter, gains refinement. As per Rule 6, Jupiter in own sign uplifts the Lagna powerfully. Rule 7 supports Venus' natural charm, adding social magnetism and sensual intelligence. Their aspect to the 7th blesses relationships, diplomacy, and teaching or spiritual counseling professions. 2. Moon in the 5th house, Cancer, own sign, conjunct Jupiter, creates a profound Gaja Kesari Yoga in a Kona. Moon rules the 5th, Jupiter rules the 1st and 10th. Rule 6 confirms both planets strong. Moon lends emotional intelligence and nurturing creativity. Jupiter magnifies intellect and fortune. Rule 7 affirms Kona conjunctions uplift higher learning, children, and intuitive wisdom. Their combined aspect on the 11th brings influential friendships and abundant gains through emotional and ethical networking. Excellent for educators, spiritual leaders, or healers. 3. Mercury in the 4th house, Gemini, own sign. Conjunct Sun forms Buddha Aditya Yoga in a Kendra. Mercury rules the 4th and 7th. Sun rules the 6th. Rule 6 grants Mercury strength in own sign, clarifying mental peace, academic brilliance, and domestic management. Sun may bring ego or service-oriented disruption, but this is refined in a Kendra. Rule 7 affirms steady growth in real estate, leadership in education, or administration. Their aspect on the 10th fosters career success through communication, logic, and intellect. For Mars in the second house, Aries, own sign, conjunct Venus activates personal values, finances, and family legacy in an Artha house. Mars rules the 2nd and 9th, Venus rules 3rd and 8th. Rule 6 favors Mars in own sign, giving courage, speech power, and philosophical grounding. Venus adds diplomacy and sensuality to communication. Rule 7 confirms that although Venus has functional challenges, the placement improves with dignity. Their aspect on the 8th suggests transformational depth and sharp insight. This is great for financial strategy, inheritance, and writing. 5. Sun in the 6th house, Leo own sign, conjunct Mercury, empowers competitive brilliance in an Upachaya Dushtana. Sun rules the 6th, Mercury rules 4th and 7th. Rule 6 confirms Sun's own sign brings mastery over service, enemies, and routine life. Mercury adds adaptability and reason. Rule 7 supports their long-term strength. This pairing fosters legal, medical, or administrative excellence. Their aspect on the 12th boosts control over isolation, loss, or foreign influence. Challenges may involve ego in service settings unless tempered by Jupiter or Moon in Kona. 6. Saturn in the 11th house, Capricorn, own sign, conjunct Moon strand, shows delayed but lasting social rise in an Upachaya. Saturn rules the 11th and 12th. Moon rules the 5th. Rule 6 gives Saturn strong control over gains, networks, and elder support. Moon adds emotional intuition and creative appeal. Rule 7 assures this pair grows more effective with age. Their aspect on the 5th supports intellectual maturity and disciplined creative output. However, the early life may feel emotionally lonely or socially constrained. 7. Mars in the 9th house, Scorpio, conjunct Mercury, sharpens higher learning, legal insight, and belief systems in a Kona. Mars rules 2nd and 9th, Mercury rules 4th and 7th. Mars here is strong by dignity, ruling the house, and Mercury refines abstract concepts into argument or narrative. Rules 6 and 7 support dynamic teaching, political strategy, or spiritual critique. Their aspect on the 3rd gives persuasive communication, possibly for justice or reform causes. However, restlessness in early belief systems or fatherly relationships may arise. 8. Saturn in the 12th house, Aquarius, own sign, conjunct Sun, signals karmic maturity, discipline and isolation, and leadership in hidden domains. Saturn rules the 11th and 12th, Sun rules the 6th. Rule 6 makes Saturn dignified. Excellent for spiritual retreats, institutional roles, or foreign engagements. Sun adds authoritative clarity. Rule 7 affirms that with age, this pair creates mastery over subconscious tendencies, past life debts, or health routines. Their aspect on the 6th offers strength in overcoming enemies and debts. This is ideal for those in NGO work, medicine, or philosophy. Summary for Pisces rising with conjunctions in Kendras and Konas. Jupiter as Lagna and 10th Lord is central. When in own sign or conjoined with benefics, Moon, Venus, and Kendras or Konas, it fosters wisdom, charm, and karmic maturity. Rule 6, strong placements of Jupiter, Moon, Mars, Mercury, and Sun in their own signs within Kendras or Konas form the backbone of moral, emotional, and intellectual strength. Rule 7, Upachaya and Dushtana conjunctions, Sun, Mercury in 6th, Saturn, Moon in 11th, Saturn, Sun in 12th, mature slowly but become powerful tools for service and transformation. Kendra conjunctions stabilize emotional base, career path, and personality. Kona conjunctions, Moon, Jupiter, Mars, Mercury guide dharmic success, belief, and creativity. Natural malefics, Mars, Saturn, when dignified and paired with benefics, offer resilience, protection, and long-range accomplishment. Pisces rising individuals thrive when Jupiter's expansive Dharma is supported by the grounding of Saturn, the refinement of Venus, and the clarity of Mercury. When conjunctions occur in key houses with dignity, they become highly intuitive, healing, and mission-oriented people capable of turning suffering into compassion and complexity into clarity.